Alright, can I hear this? I'll just try this one more time. I don't know if this is even gonna work. I can't hear anything. There's a delay. There's this huge delay. Alright, can I not get rid of this delay? Where's that at? Alright, screw it. I'm just gonna go ahead and go with it. Hopefully this thing works. Alright, so the reason for this live stream, for this video, is I just want to talk about the bigger world of Neotheric, where the story is going to go from here. And because you see the first 4 issues that you can get digitally or that are contained in this printed graphic novel, it's like the first 12 hours, I think, of the story. So once we get past this stage, there's a whole bunch of things that will happen as repercussions of what happens here, and I already have things planned out about what's going to happen in the future. So I wanted to talk about some of the things that are kind of like alluded to, just talked about and touched upon, that you would see later on, so that once I talk about these and you think, okay, well, maybe this original story is interesting, but now you hear a little bit more about what I have planned, maybe it'll make it a little more interesting, and you might be inclined to purchase the book. So, like I have here in the corner there, I've printed about 100 copies of this graphic novel. I still got about like 90 copies left. You can get them directly from me if you go to my Twitter. It's at Rainy Road Comics. The pinned tweet has it's got direct linked to Amazon. You can buy it off Amazon. If you want to buy it directly from me, you can send me a DM, and I will. We can go through PayPal. So anyway, so let's just go right through it and start off. So basically, again, the basic story is these dinosaurs. There's a small group of dinosaurs that were part of this larger herd that works as like basically slave labor for these aliens. They're biological terraformers, but they've evolved over millions of years, and they just want to live free. So they escape from these aliens, and they come back to Earth. And like I said, this graphic novel, the first 4 issues, just goes through the initial, quote unquote, impact of that, of their decision to do that and the actions that they take. But so the very first issue is there's a couple things that actually are different in the printed version than the digital versions. I added some dialogue to kind of help set things up better and explain things a little bit better, like with the characters and everything. So the first thing I just want to talk about, just get right through it, is well, you see here in the second issue we see that, well, actually let me just get right back. No, sorry, where is it? So in the second issue we see the dinosaurs have come out, and then there's this sort of confrontation between these 2 dinosaurs. This guy's name is Bruck. He is the Pteranodon, and this guy's name is Nan. He's the T-Rex. And but he comes down and tells him that that when he was up in the air, he saw that there's like a large army coming their way, and so they need to get out because there's just the four of them. They don't want to engage into a. He doesn't think they should engage into a fight right away. And what this army is this. In this world of Neotheric, there's an agency called the National Police Task Force. The image here is flipped around because I got the camera mirrored, so it looks more like you're looking at it, but it flips the image around. So it may look, so that's why everything's kind of funky. But anyway, so the National Police Task Force it's sort of like Department of Homeland Security. They're an umbrella organization that kind of takes care of all the domestic law enforcement issues, and but within the NPTF is the shadow government. So we're going to see that later on in the series. Is that these agents here, they're just like normal agents, but we're going to see that there's an aspect to them there's like sort of like a secret. There's a small cabal of these people that are trying to control what information gets out, and they don't want the information about the dinosaurs to get out and all this kind of stuff. And so that's the first thing, is that we've got this sort of like FBI, CIA, kind of organization that's trying to suppress any information about the aliens and the dinosaurs and all what has happened. And you see that, and here this guy, they're alluding to something that happened a long time ago. It says that these artifacts that they found when the dinosaurs crashed look similar to something that happened a long time ago. That's another storyline that would be explored and explained in future issues. Is how these. Let me see what it says. Well, how these guys. What does it say? It says it here when they get into this fight. So, like he says here, this kid cowboy says, "Look, I think all these soldiers are here for a reason. They need to be ready for a fight." So, again, we're alluding to that this agency knew something about aliens and all that kind of stuff, but they didn't know about the dinosaurs. So that's something that we'll get into later. The other thing is, you see on the screen on the right side, there's a little logo called Thirsty Incorporated, and what we're going to see is, in the world of Neotheric, there's a company that is sort of like a Google, Apple, Facebook, kind of a tech giant sort of company. It's called Thirsty, and they make like these lifestyle apps and all this kind of stuff. And this is something that's alluded to in after when the ship crashes in the first issue, and all these people are standing around, and then they're talking. These people are talking here. This is the father of the little boy. The little boy's name is Cowboy. This guy's name is no, this is Frank. And then there's these two people, and they're having a conversation while Mailman Gary goes up to the ship to investigate, see what's going on. So as they're talking, this the guy Frankie says, "Figured you two for that quote unquote smart city they've been building across the highway." Now, this dialogue here was something that I changed just for the graphic novel because I wanted to set this up more in the future. So what's going to happen is, this is a small town where where the dinosaurs crashed, but like right across the highway from where the small town is, there's been building this what they call a smart city. So it's like the super advanced city that has everything, and it was specifically built for this company called Thirsty. And we're gonna see that in the future issues when the there's gonna be a big event that happens in that city that it has people haven't moved in yet. It's just being built, and so later on we're gonna see when when the people come to finally start to move into the city, then there's going to be a big thing that's going to happen between the dinosaurs and all this kind of stuff. So it's sort of like this kind of like utopia where they got you know um, everything is like I got schools and all this kind of stuff. Everything is like very purposely built as something sort of like out of Epcot Center from Disney World or something, like this futuristic version of a city, this perfect city. Um, and again, that's part. It was built specifically for. It was built specifically for this company called Thirsty by excuse me, by the people in this. This takes place. The story takes place in Wyoming. So this little city is it's a made up city called Riverside Junction. There's a reason why it's called Riverside Junction. Again, I'll explain that. That would come up later. Um, so so this this company called Thirsty is gonna figure very prominently into future storylines because they make a lot of these different things that are going to show up in this world, and they're going to be directly affected by the dinosaur's presence. I don't want to give it away, but it's going to be a big, huge thing. Um, and then obviously, like the main story is really about the dinosaurs just trying to live free. They're just trying to be free, and but what they're doing is like going against the quote unquote natural order of things, which is this guy that we call Mr. G, who lives out in space on this little island with this apple tree. He has, so this is the part in the, this is the first book, yeah, second. So he explains to the two aliens that he's got this book, what he calls a tome, that he writes in the book, and in the book it says basically, this is how the universe is, this is what's supposed to happen, this is what everyone's role is, and this has to be maintained, or else it will cause all kinds of chaos and basically destroy the universe. So that's his main goal, is to set things right. And the dinosaurs, escaping and then coming back into contact with modern humans, that throws throws a big monkey wrench into his plans. Um, so that's the main thrust of the story, is gonna be like how he tries to get the dinos back to either punish them, get rid of them, or bring them back to what they're supposed to be doing. Oh, by the way, this is NPTF mug that I made. It was a few years ago. It's so it has the logo. Where's that at? That's this is another thing that's sort of like, it's in the actual world of the story, and it's like merchandise that I thought would be kind of cool to have. Let's see another third one. So when you go to his house, and then you see has I guess you can see it, but the logo is like It's a it's obvious take on the Uncle Sam logo. This is called Uncle Eagle. So it's an eagle, and he's pointing a gun at you. But I don't have it here on the cup, but in the book, the logo. You can actually see it, but it says, there's this delay, I can't even hold it up there, but it says I love you. Instead of I want you, it says I love you. So it's kind of a goofy, silly thing. Anyway, um, yeah, so it's, let me see if I make sure this thing focuses. Now before we keep going on with this fascinating live stream. What else? Yeah, so basically basically you have the NPTF, who's law enforcement, official law enforcement, that obviously has to deal with what's just happened. But there's inside of the NPTF is not just inside the NPTF, but in the whole government, there's a shadow government that's kind of controlling things behind the scenes, behind the curtains. And then you got this big corporation that's, a big tech company that is so involved in every facet of people's everyday life. That's going to come into play. And then there's going to be, obviously what happens to all of these people that were in the original, that were in the first issue. All these people that, some of them, not all of these people died. Some of them did. Um, but not all of them did. But we're gonna see like all the ramifications of everything that happened here with all of these people. And there's one last thing is that a little secret I would give away is that let's see, let's go right to the end here. So you have these 4 dinosaurs that were on this little ship that crashed back on the Earth, and they have this little adventure in this first graphic novel. So you have the T-Rex is like again, T-Rex is named Nan. This is Diplodocus. It's a female. Her name is Dip. This guy is Pteranodon. His name is Bruck. And this little guy, I can't remember what the actual species I used to go off on this guy, but he's basically like a little chicken. He's the one that most resembles like a modern bird. His name is Nib, and he's also like a youngish character, like a teenager sort of version of a dinosaur. But so the secret is there's one other dinosaur that was part of this group but didn't make it, and we're gonna see what I am doing something right now. So we're gonna see what happens from that storyline. And actually, if you go to the second issue, again back to this moment where they have this confrontation between these two. Brooke says, "You dare risk everything after what we've sacrificed," and Nan says, "We." This moment is supposed to give a little clue about that dinosaur that didn't make it, and it's going to be a big part of everything going forward. It has to do with the relationship between Nan and this what did I call it? Like this object that they lost when they first crashed, and then you find out at the end what that object is. It has to do with the relationship between man and cowboy, and all of that. This sort of comes into focus as we move forward. As I've said before in some other interviews I've done, and that I have the first 12 issues mapped out um, very precisely, so I know really exactly what's going to happen. I mean, obviously things can change along the way, but I have a real specific plan for what's going to happen. And honestly, I think that I can get, I can probably get at least 50 or 60 issues out of this story based on just what I have in my head already. It's a finite story. There's a very specific point to the story where exactly where it's going to go, like what is the purpose of the story, what's the meaning of the story, what am I trying to say with this story, and I already know really how it's going to end. So anyway, I just wanted to just talk about the story a little bit more, kind of get a little more information about all the backgrounds, some of the background stuff, and see if maybe that could help to get people more intrigued about this world that I'm trying to create here, and see if we can go forward with it, and you know, see if more people would be interested in getting the book and then continuing to tell the story. So just want to mention, like, in the top right corner, that slideshow of the images that you see there, those are the trading cards that I had done by a guy who goes by the name of Scuba Steve Myers. He's on he's on Instagram, on Twitter, and that was part of the Indiegogo campaign that I wanted to do, is have like some trading cards. So he did the art for those. It's got the four dinosaurs, and I printed out like 20 sets of those, and but anyway, so that's the art that's going by there that you see there, Scuba Steve. Anyway, all right, so I guess that's 20 minutes is long enough for this video. Let's see if I can figure out how to stop this. Bye bye.